Appreciate Brother Marc and Miss Beth. And telling you that all these years and all the churches that they've been in, they've never found a church like this church. That's something to be protected.
Yeah.
That's something to be thankful for.
Amen.
But that's something for you to invest even more into.
Right.
That's what you need to understand this morning. We're not there yet.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We're not there yet.
Yeah.
Don't get the swelled head and think, man, you know, we've arrived. And, you know, the devil can't get a foothold in here, and we don't have to worry about him. He's on the outside, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, when Brother Marc come talk to me about joining the church, I told him, I said, now look, if you're looking for a perfect church, we're not a perfect church. If you're looking for a perfect pastor, I'm not a perfect pastor. If you're looking for a perfect preacher, I'm not a perfect preacher. I'm far from it. Now, I'm not going to be that in this life. You're not a perfect church. You're not a perfect congregation.
That's right.
You're
Yeah.
not a perfect person apart from Jesus Christ and His righteousness in this building.
Amen.
But this is the body that God has made you a part of. And this should be the most important body on this planet to you.
Yeah.
That's right.
And the only way that anybody else should become more important to you in life, in the future, is if God brings them in and makes them a part of this body.
Amen.
Otherwise, this should be the most important body. This is what God has made you part of the structure of.
Amen.
And instead of being critical one of another about what this one's not doing or that one's not doing, look in the mirror of your own life.
That's right, man.
Amen.
And be honest with yourself and say, you know what? I'm not all I should be.
That's
Yeah.
right. Amen, preacher.
And I'm not all I could be. And then you might want to examine your life if you're a little bit of an older Christian and been saved for any length of time at all, and go back and say, Lord, I want you to search my heart, and I want you to tell me if the reason why this one is not all that she should be, or this one's not all that he should be, if it's because they've been watching me somewhere in the past, and maybe I didn't realize it, but maybe I was a stumbling block to them. Maybe they saw me do something or have never seen me do something that I should. And maybe they heard me say something I should not have said. Or maybe they've never heard me say what I should say. If there's anything in my life that has been a stumbling block to cause them not to grow and flourish as a branch and be what they are to be, help me to get rid of my critical spirit. Let me get that thing right. And let me change my life in their sight, so they'll see what I'm really supposed to be.
Amen.
And they'll hear me say the things that I'm supposed to say, and they won't hear me say the things that I shouldn't say.
That's right.
Y'all still with me this morning?
Amen.
Amen.
All of y'all that have kids this morning, you don't have a perfect kid.
No.
No matter how much you loved your mom and dad, those of y'all that moms and dads are still living, you don't have a perfect mom and dad.
No.
Those of y'all that's lost your mom or your dad or one or the other, they weren't perfect.
That's right.
Those of y'all that have living brothers, living sisters in the flesh, they weren't perfect. They're not going to be perfect in this life.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, so often you're forgiving towards those outside and not forgiving towards those inside.
That's right.
That's right. Amen.
Now say this as you stand to your feet this morning. What I've noticed in all the years that I've been pastoring is that people so quickly jump on a child of God that has become a Demas or a prodigal son and forget about the fact of their own involvement in the world and how close they really are to doing the very same
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Right. Amen.
All you are is one heartbeat away from being a demon.
That's right.
Yeah.
Any moment in your life.
Amen, preacher.
All any of us are, any of us, that includes me, all of any of us are, is one step, just one simple step away from heading off to the hog pit.
Amen.
Life's not easy right now. We're living in perilous times. And you've got enough enemies without to where we shouldn't be enemies within. Have you ever stopped to think that maybe one of the reasons why an individual struggles on and on is maybe they're feeble-minded. Maybe they don't appear to be on the outside, but when it comes to a spiritual life, maybe they're feeble-minded.
Yeah.
Well, Paul told you to comfort that individual. He didn't tell you to crucify them.
That's right.
Right.
He didn't tell you to try to jump up and down on them when they're down and out. Church, we need one another. More now than we ever have in the past, and tomorrow we're going to need each other even more so than we need each other today.
Amen.
And it's going to continue on like that day after day. As you bow your heads and close your eyes, and as Mitchie starts playing softly, I want to remind you of something. Some of y'all weren't here, but you've heard us talk about it. Years ago, Scott taught a lesson, a devotion before Sunday school on just get over. This morning, some of y'all just need to get over some stuff. You need to lay it on this altar and say, Lord, the preacher's right. We're a family. We make up a part of the family of God. This isn't my enemy. This is my family.
Amen.
I'm going to fight with them, and I'm going to fight for them. I'm not going to stand and fight against them.
Amen.
We're going to fight together and press on.